disrupted.
America that I fought.
Weird thing to happen. Hello, one and all. Welcome to this edition of Kitz Corner. Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. So, in the wake of Vice Media declaring bankruptcy, BuzzFeed News shutting down, even MTV News, surprisingly, is also shutting down. I didn't even think MTV News was still around, but they're announcing that they are completely shutting down their institution after 36 years. Mostly because it's just establishment trash, disguising himself as a hipster kind of thing. It's almost like the John Travolta of propaganda. Like, oh, I'm wearing a nice, leather vest here, and I'm cool, I'm hip, I know all the terms, cowabunga dude. That's what I envision Vice Media and BuzzFeed and MTV News. They had some good moments, but in the end, it's really just pushing more establishment tropes. But there could also be another situation that should be concerning to all journalists out there. So, this announcement from Futurism, because Google is announcing they're having plans to demolish the journalism industry entirely using AI. This could change everything. So, Google using the tool of AI could absolutely jeopardize the whole prosperity and industry of newsmakers and journalists and news writers and people, going out and doing person on the street and interviews. That could just completely eliminate the entire apparatus of what journalism was supposed to be. I mean, journalism, sadly, has been corrupted and bought out by the worst of the worst, and criminals buying the media is the reason why we have such liars and hypocrites in the media industry. But this is just absolutely, even for them, this should be insane and pointing red flags. So they say, remember back in 2018 when Google removed "Don't Be Evil" from its code of conduct? I remember that. Because they can't do that anymore. They are doing evil. They can't say they're not doing evil by doing evil. It's been living up to that removal lately as its annual I.O. in San Francisco this week. The search engine finally lifted the lid of its vision for AI integrated search, and that vision apparently involves cutting digital publishers off at the knees. Google's new AI-powered search interface, dubbed Search Generative Experience, or SGE for short, involves a feature called AI Snapshot. Basically, it's an enormous top-of-the-page summarization feature. Ask, for example, why is sourdough bread still so popular? One of the examples that Google used in their presentation. And before you get to the blue links we're all familiar with, Google will provide you with a large language model generated summary, or we guess, snapshot. So basically, they're going to kill off any possibility of you looking up a website because Google's just going to have the answer right in front of you. So not only is this going to kill journalism, I feel like this is going to kill every other website. This is scary. This is absolutely scary. This is why I have mixed reaction to AI and the evolving technology. Google's normal search results load almost immediately, The Verge's David Pierce explains. Above them, a rectangular orange section pulses and glows and shows the phrase generative AI is experimental. A few seconds later, the glowing is replaced by an AI-generated summary, a few paragraphs detailing how good sourdough tastes, the upside of its prebiotic abilities, and more. To the right, he adds, there are 3 links to sites with information that Reed says corroborates what's in the summary. As it goes without saying, this format of search, where Google uses AI tech to regulate the internet back to users, is widely different from how the search facilitated internet works today. Right now, if you Google that same query, why is sourdough bread still so popular, you're met with a more familiar scene. A feature excerpts from whichever website won the CEO race. In this case, that website was British Baker, followed by the series of blue links. So then it goes on by saying, but it's not unfamiliar to say that Google, which in April, according to data from SimilarWeb, hosted roughly 91% of all search traffic, is somewhat synonymous with, well, the internet. And the internet isn't just some ethereal, predetermined thing as natural water or air. The internet is a marketplace, and Google is its kingmaker. I would agree with that. I think Google is the monarchy of trying to attach itself with the internet. I think they're trying to take control of the internet as much as possible. So this is going to deteriorate even more people away from websites. And we know, we've already dealt with net neutrality. We're already still continuing the fight to, uh, you know, get away from the censorship and get away from the tactics of the corporate estate pouncing on the internet and how it's ruining the free speech and the information superhighway. So Google using AI is basically blocking people from other websites that other people, actual human beings, have spent, dedicated themselves to publish. So in a way, this is almost like, killing off the internet. This is killing off the World Wide Web because Google's now going to have control over everything. They're just going to have all the answers, and they're going to just publish whatever they find critical, whatever they find acceptable. So that is disturbing. That is very disturbing. Research has shown that information consumers hardly ever make to even the second page of search results, let alone even the bottom of the page. And worse, it's not like Google's taking clicks away from its longtime information merchants by hiring an army of human content writers to churn out summarizations. Google's new search interface, which is built on a model that's already been trained by a boatload upon boatloads of unpaid for human output, will seemingly be swallowing even more human-made contact and spitting it back out to information seekers, all while taking valuable clicks away from the publishers that are actually doing the work of reporting, curating, and holding powerful interests like Google accounts. So that's what it is. They're trying to take away the industry because the industry, very few people, because, corporate media has completely failed on holding people accountable, but the very few people that are actually willing to hold people accountable, they're the ones that are going to suffer the most. And that's why they're moving forward with this. The same situation that's happening with the writers right now. There's a big writer strike happening in Hollywood, and they're worried because AI is producing movie scripts, is writing television shows, they're writing episodic material. That's scary. That you're going to take away writers' industry, the whole occupation of being a writer. You're going to completely take that away because a generated artificial intelligence can write up episodic material and just post it to whatever producer, and then they're just going to build upon that, and it's just going to be absolutely terrible. But they don't care. They don't care because they can get away from human contact. They don't have to give them wages. They don't have to give them, benefits. They don't have to be part of a union, which is everything that a human worker strives to be part of. They strive to be part of a union. They strive to be able to have livable wages. They're just going to get rid of that because AI is just going to take over. So it also says in an emailed statement to Futurism, that's the publication that wrote this, a Google spokesperson said that we're introducing this new generative AI experience as an experiment in search labs to help us iterate and improve while incorporating feedback from users and other stakeholders. Not users, but stakeholders. So unless you have money invested in Google, your opinion does not matter. Even though you probably Google 50 times a day, even though you probably search the most on your phone, on your tablet, on your computer, you're probably watching this on YouTube, which is run by Google. Even though you're using all of that, you're a predominant user. They don't care about your feedback. They just want the money. They want the investments because in the end, it's all about cutting the bottom line to get the most money, short-term profits, and that is what is happening, folks, with this move of AI technology. And it is scary. It is concerning. It is something that needs to be held account and attention. I know that I think Andrew Yang mentioned the most about it when he was running for president. And it was actually a conversation we should be having now. And it's amazing that not a lot of people are mentioning this, especially with the fact that, the announcement of BuzzFeed, the announcement of MTV News, the announcement of Vice Media. There's other publications that are also in jeopardy of being eliminated from the media sphere. And potentially this could hurt corporate media. Because if AI could just generate news programs and generate stories, they don't need employees then. They don't need journalists. They don't need news gatherers, which kind of eliminates the whole point of journalism. And that is scary. That is absolutely scary, considering that Google is already nefarious as is, has ties with the intelligence community, but now is having ties with AI technology to just bring you the news. It's diabolical. It's all diabolical. That's why AI is such it's a bittersweet symphony. Because there's good things about AI that I've heard about, and I like seeing where technology is going towards, but at the same time, when technology gets in the hands of nefarious people, it's not pretty. It is not pretty.